All right. Thank the person you're with. Go ahead and find your way back to your seats. Okay, so we are exceedingly blessed. I love it when I can't get them back under control. That's always a good sign, actually. All right, my darlings. Hello. All right, I want to let you know that we are exceedingly blessed this morning not only to have live music, but to have that live music be Eddie Watkins Jr. Now, before you applaud, let me tell you a little bit about him that you might not know. So Eddie was born in Detroit, and when he was 7 years old, his grandmother, Big Mama, got him a piano. When he was 10 years old, he began his musical career playing piano for a bingo game. And in junior high and high school, he played piano, bass, guitar, drums, and saxophone, all the way through junior high and high school. And then, all that music in the 60s started to happen. In the 70s, Jimi Hendrix, BTO, Grand Funk, Sly and the Family Stone. And Eddie put down the standing bass to go for electronic bass guitar. And at age 17, he was noticed by Motown producer Norman Whitfield. And a few days later, he got a call from Motown to play for Whitfield's new Temptations album, Masterpiece. And that led to lots of Motown sessions. So when Motown went to Hollywood, Eddie followed along, just, to see if he could find out what was going there. And he quickly became an A-list sessions player. There were hundreds of sessions every week. He played for Quincy Jones, Barbra Streisand, Herbie Hancock, Santana, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, the Pointer Sisters, James Brown, you name it, right? Now, and Golden Gate now, yes, today. So this process of, quick success and lots of money and fame and, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, that kind of thing. So it kind of led him through this process of substance abuse, recovery, searching for deeper meaning in his life, and getting introduced to New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, which basically changed his life. He has now served as music director in Centers for Spiritual Living in Las Vegas, in Seattle, at the Center for Creative Living in St. John's, Florida, and right now at the Center for Spiritual Living in St. Augustine, Florida. We are so blessed to have this morning with us Eddie Watkins Jr.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. So please stand and join us in the opening song. Stand up at home and sing too.
There you go. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together.
We come together.
Okay.
We come together.
Okay, now let me, hold on. Let me show you how it goes. I say, lift your voice and repeat after me. I'm going to say, we come together. And you say,
we come together.
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 In the name of love. Okay, that's how we do it. Let's try that one more time. We come together.
We come together.
We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. That was pretty good. I think you could do it better though. Yeah. That's just what I want you to do. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the great. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Ooh, take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Give yourself a hand. That was fantastic.
All right, wonderful. Now that I'm really ringing. Yeah. Now that we are uplifted and enlivened, now we're going to get quiet. Because we have made our voices heard together in the sanctuary, which brings us together in consciousness as a community, as one, rather than a bunch of observers and individuals, including those of you who are online. Don't think that you're exempt from this. You, too, are part of this community right now. So as we go within to become centered and receptive to the morning, I invite Reverend Judith Fleener up to do our opening for us now.
Centering in the joy of spirit, in that exuberance that is the power of life. We come together as friends, new and old, to remind each other of the oneness of that one infinite power of love and creativeness and inspiration. So in this place of knowing that one truth, that all inspiration is available to us when we turn within and listen to the greater beyond. In that place of centering, in the quiet of the soul. And so knowing that this is the place we are in right now, that true connected place with the infinite I am. I just claim for our time together here that each and every person listening on the YouTube, present in this room, or just feeling the vibes that emanate from us being together, that each person is given that inspiration of exactly what they need for whether it be physical healing, relationship, financial stress elimination, or just being in the center of the joy of life. Whatever it is that each being needs, that they hear clearly exactly what it is they need to do and where they need to rest and not do and let the divine take care of everything. And so I am just so grateful for this time together. I am grateful for Mama, who bought a piano for her grandson. That was God working through Big Mama so that Eddie could go out into the world and create peace. Peace in the soul, peace in relationships, peace in beingness. And I am grateful for Reverend Mary, who has answered the call, that her words today, as they have in days past and they will in days future, are inspired by that same divine energy that each one of us can tap into to get the direction and the words that we need to speak in the world. And so for everyone who has come together today to make this a delightful morning, bringing snacks, setting up equipment, or just being present, this is what community and spiritual life is all about. And so I just give thanks and I let it be. And so it is.
It's all yours.
I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do, nothing more to say. I'm just falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me. It is lifting me on high. I ride on a power I can't see. And on the wings of love I fly. I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do, nothing more to say. I'm just falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me. It is lifting me on high. I ride on a power I can't see. And on the wings of love I fly. I rise on the power that I can't see. On the wings of love I fly. I rise on a power that I can't see. I don't ask why, I don't need to understand everything. Ooh, and it's by faith I fly, and it's by grace I see, I see. I feel Spirit holding me. Oh, and it is lifting me up high. I rise on a power I can't see, and on the wings of love I fly. I fly. Thank you. Thank you.
Whew. And so it is. We're glad you came today. I think the message has been given. Yeah, we rise on a power that we can't see. That's how we fly. Yeah. So now the room is really alive, right? You got a chance to sing and dance and pray and go within, and a grand rising is taking place, not just in 2024, but right now in this moment in this room for us. And for the month of March, the month of May, I know it was one of those M months, the theme has been freeing our hidden splendor. You know, Emerson said something once about releasing the hidden splendor, meaning letting the beauty out that is within us, that we keep protected and small so that it won't get hurt. So instead, we want to free it and fly on it, let it go out there. And this morning, I'm talking about vision. Who has the vision? When you were a little kid, did you ever play a game at a birthday party called Button, Who Has the Button? Oh, good, because I thought maybe my mother made it up. But all the little kids would be around, and she would have a button in her hands, and we would all be like this, and she would come, and each one would open up their fingers a little bit, and for one of the children, she'd put a button in their hand. Now, I don't know what happened after that. I can't remember, but it was kind of what kept coming to me as I was putting this together. Vision. Who has the vision? One of the things that we do in the Science of Mind as a spiritual practice is visioning, which may be new to you. And so we've all heard of visualization, but visioning is not quite that. So when we see something in our ordinary lives, we make an interpretation about what it is and what it means. A nursery school teacher was delivering a station wagon full of kids home one day when a fire truck zoomed past them, and sitting in the front seat of the truck by the driver was a Dalmatian dog. And the little kids started discussing the dog. And one of them said, well, they use him to keep the crowds back. And another little boy said, no, he's there for good luck. And finally, a little girl brought the argument to a close when she said with great certainty, they use the dogs to find the fire hydrants. Which certainly was a logically wise assumption, right? So when we see things, we human beings are meaning makers. We like to make meaning out of what we see, to interpret it in a logical way. And when we're kids, what's logical to us seems funny to adults because we know the actual context better than they do. But it makes it so delightful to watch what we do as human beings, even when we're tiny, which is to look at something and give it a meaning. We often don't realize we've given it the meaning. So Swami Satchidananda said, everything begins in mind. If you want to see clearly, you need clear vision. You need clear vision. So the question arises, what is a vision? Can anybody experience one? What is a vision? Ralph Hodgson said, some things have to be believed to be seen. I like that. And Malcolm Forbes said, the best vision is insight. Well, how do we get that insight? How do we come upon the vision? So a vision, you know, some tribes have trance dances and things that they do that bring people a changed state of consciousness that can allow them to open to something like that. We can see a vision maybe in a dream. It's not actually that kind of dream when you have a vision in it, but a dream, maybe a trance or a meditation or some kind of religious ecstasy or spiritual experience where suddenly the ordinary feels different. It's as if the atmosphere, the air in the atmosphere has become charged a little differently. Now that possibility is present around us always, but we're usually very tuned into whatever we're distracted by, whatever we're doing at the moment. Imagine that you could, in this moment, just become aware of being in a room with an atmosphere of unconditional love. That it was so unconditional that even your own concerns and doubt or feelings of responsibility or guilt from anything in your past just melted because the presence of unconditional love was so powerful. See, that's what's already here in the room. And in that consciousness, in that presence, a lot of things are possible that we don't ordinarily, in our conscious minds every day, imagine to be possible. So a vision has greater clarity than your typical kind of dream, and it is something anybody can experience. And in fact, it is my belief that most human beings have had some kind of a spiritual experience or moment. And if they couldn't make sense of it, they may very well have talked themselves out of it in order to feel safe and secure and comfortable with the familiar, right? Dr. Michael Beckwith said, visualization. So we asked the question then, what is the difference between visualization, which we know of as a metaphysical practice, and visioning? You know, I do lead a visioning on Wednesday nights. I think it's the third Wednesday of the month, every month, on Zoom. And we have regulars that come, but we also have lots of you that have never been to a visioning, at least online, the ones we do online. So I want to introduce the difference because they aren't the same thing. So in a visualization, that's a directive process. It's done mostly inwardly, but it's a directive process where what we want to do is impress upon our subconscious mind and the creative law what it is that we want to experience, yes? So essentially we're speaking it into being, even if it's in the silence, kind of like a spiritual mind treatment. We're sending our word forth, all right? That's visualization, having that picture, that feeling. Michael Beckwith says, visualization is a beginning phase in metaphysics in which we mentally conceive of something we want. We imagine doing it or having it, and we generate the feelings that would accompany the experience, all right? So that's visualization. Visioning is receptive rather than directive. It's more like a meditation or a guided meditation. It is catching Spirit's vision for something in our lives. So it is a listening rather than a speaking. And Beckwith goes on to say, when we do visioning, on the other hand, we align in consciousness with our divine purpose, which is to love and to express a greater degree of life. Then we open ourselves to catch a sense of how that expression is supposed to occur through us. So the meditative process is one of becoming like a big radar receiver. And we're reaching out and listening. We're asking specific questions, and we're tuning in for any kind of response. And so when we do that, it's important that we do it with full availability to whatever comes, whether it makes sense or not. So it may be images or symbols or memories. It might be music, or it might be something we see. It might be words, and it might be silence. It might be nothing at all. But all of that is a part of the process of doing visioning. So Iyanla Van Zandt said, if you don't have a vision, you're going to be stuck in what you know. And the only thing you know is what you've already experienced. Now, when we want to create a change in our lives, by hanging on to what we've already experienced, we're already blocking it. You know yourselves in this room how much resistance you feel when I ask you to get up and sit in a different chair. Kind of hard to change your life if you won't even really change your chair, yeah? Now, today, I won't ask you to do that, but just, turn that over in your mind. Like, where do you usually always sit? So that's the perspective you have of what's happening in the space. Next week, I want you to sit somewhere else. Come and sit in an unfamiliar seat. Choose the most unfamiliar seat out here that you possibly can and sit in a different place than you usually do. Michael Beckwith said, visioning is a process by which we train ourselves to be able to hear, feel, see, and catch God's plan for our life or for any particular purpose we're working on. So in Centers for Spiritual Living and in our individual centers, we do visioning often for specific projects or specific teams or for a particular action. And what happens when you do visioning is you get two things, really. The first is the vision. What is Spirit's vision for this? You catch that vision. That already exists in consciousness. You've caught that from Spirit. It's already there. So, bless you. In the divine, it is already existing. Then, the following questions that we ask after that are all about, basically, what's my homework? How do I need to grow in order to let that be my experience? That which already exists in consciousness, how do I need to shift and change to let that happen? And so we ask a series of specific questions to kind of draw that out. So the very first part is the vision, and everything else is our homework. That's how the visioning works. Then at the end, it's kind of like a long process of treatment in one way. At the end, we're grateful, we let it go, and in extended visioning processes, we team up with a prayer partner. And we pray for one another for the homework during that period of time between that visioning and whenever that group meets again. Now, we don't do that part when we meet to do it on Zoom because that's a little more complicated. But that's the whole process of the visioning. And usually, while you're engaged in it, you're stepping out of that consciousness just enough to write down what you're getting and then go right back into the group visioning together. And it is the consciousness of all of us together that allows visioning to have its power. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, there's something in you telling you this, like a voice echoing from some mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no one has seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. We're tapping into an invisible, unlimited source, and we are drawing from it as much as we can let ourselves draw from it, because the source doesn't have any kind of governor on it that says you can only have this much. It's about what we let through. And the more times that we do visioning, the more familiar the process becomes, the easier it is to go to that place. Although, even for those who've been visioning a lot, there may be times when nothing really comes. And that's okay, because spirit is sneaky. Spirit is sneaky. And what I mean by that is that you may not get anything during the actual visioning, and then you may get a flash when you're driving in the car the next day or two, or in the shower, or in the middle of a conversation with somebody, or there may be a word in a book, or a phrase in a song, or something you see in a movie that suddenly awakens you to a response to that, to what you have been visioning about. So what is this process of visioning? What is this practice itself like? When we did our strategic planning retreat with the Leadership Council a little while back, one of the things we wanted to do was to bring an experience of some spiritual practice right into the Sunday morning celebration sometimes. Now, it's difficult to do visioning where part of the community is online and part is present in the room, and you don't have paper, generally, to make notes, and we don't have time to do a whole one, but I want to give you an abbreviated experience of it. Are you up for that? Okay? So, as we do this, and those of you that are at home, I really want you to do this as well, okay? And if you can't hear me well, put on your headphones or something so you can turn it up and make sure that you get everything. But I want you to close your eyes and once again feel that presence of unconditional love in the room. Know that this unconditional love is here for you, specifically, personally, individually, as well as for everyone around you collectively. Now imagine that within this space then, as we recognize that God is all there is, you're breathing in and out this presence of life and love. Take a deep breath, take in a lot of it. And as you breathe it out, send love into the room. Imagine that this love that you perceive could be magnified, that you could turn it up a couple of clicks. And now imagine that you can ground yourself by sending a grounding cord from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. And that this grounding cord is flexible and strong, but also hollow, so that all of the energy you've collected, maybe in your life, that isn't really yours, all of those thoughts and beliefs and energy that don't really belong to you, that they could flow away from you now, just draining down the grounding cord all the way to the center of the earth, where they're used as energy, neutral energy, for recreation. And as you open the chakras at the soles of your feet, that the energy of the earth comes into your whole body, moving upward, touching every cell, every molecule, cleansing and blessing and clearing. And that at the same time, through the crown chakra, a divine, sparkling golden light of wisdom and intelligence that is specifically tailored to you is flowing in and dancing with this earth energy. That as these energies swirl within you, they continue to enter through your feet and your head until you're filled and the excess flows down the grounding cord, so that you are part of a continuous flow. And in this energy, conscious of one another, we invite into this presence, into this space with us, the God-realized ones in the unseen who love us and guide us, who whisper wisdom into our ears. Imagine that they fill the space around us, lifting our vibration to greater receptivity, and that we are eager to respond and receive that. And as we do so, then, we ask, what is Spirit's vision for my highest expression of love and joy in my life? What is Spirit's vision of that? What does it look like? Or sound like? What does it feel like? What is Spirit's highest vision of itself? Living as us, living the highest, fullest expression of love, using all of our gifts. What is that vision? And anything that you catch, just anchor it somewhere in your body. Imagine what it is and anchor it in your left foot, or in your right earlobe, or in your heart. Now, seeing this vision, we also ask, how must I grow in consciousness to let this vision exist in my life, to let this vision be my experience? What qualities want to deepen and grow in me? See what arises in consciousness when you ask. What must I become in consciousness? How must I grow? Now let your gratitude for the vision and for the answer to this question fill you, as we also ask, is there anything I need to let go of now to let this be my experience? Is there anything it's time for me to release? Anything that no longer serves. And then with gratitude for whatever comes forward, remember, don't edit, whatever comes forward, then we ask, and is there anything I need to welcome, to embrace now, to let in to my experience so that I can live this vision? What do I need to allow myself to receive now, to embrace? And with gratitude for the vision, for the understanding of what wants to grow in us, what wants to be released, what wants to be welcomed, we finally ask, is there anything else I need to know about this now? Is there anything else that wants to be known about this right now? And if there's nothing, that's good. And if there's more, that's fine. We're so deeply grateful for everything that's come forward in response to these questions. We know, all of us individually and together, that this vision is alive in us right now. And that everything that has been given to us to do, to become, to know, to feel, to be, to release or welcome, all of this is taking place right now. What has come to mind to be released, we no longer need. We don't need to miss it. Whatever we haven't been willing to let in for ourselves now is coming in. What we need to know is known in our very bone marrow. And we are becoming already. We are grateful for this for ourselves and each other. And so we release this visioning with deep gratitude. We allow it to continue to bring information to us as we move in these growth directions. And we are grateful for and release now those holy beings that have assisted us in this. We let this go with joy. We know that in the infinite presence it is already done. And so with gratitude, we let it be. And we say together, and so it is. Yes. Now, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, I won't ask how many of you kind of dozed off during that, because that happens too. But if it happens when you're doing a spiritual practice like visioning, that allows the divine even more access to your subconscious, because that resistant, monkey mind, it can't be busy when it's in that subconscious receptive state. And sometimes that's what we need. The body needs rest, and the soul can do its work while we're drifting there. So you can't do it wrong. Isn't that good news? You can't do it wrong. If you get nothing, you didn't do it wrong. If you get too much, you didn't do it wrong. If you get everything, if you can't turn it off, all the better. And so as we question and as we listen, we discover more information. Sometimes it comes just in our interaction with other people. Something very simple can change our lives. So I'm going to close with a story that is kind of about that sort of discovery. Several years ago, this gal says, my friend Arlene and her husband were invited to spend the weekend at the husband's employer's home. And Arlene was nervous about going. The boss was very wealthy, with a fine home on the water and cars, plural, costing more than their house. So the first day and evening went well, and the husband's employer was really quite generous as a host and took them to some of the finest restaurants. And Arlene thought she might never have the opportunity to indulge in this kind of extravagance again, so she was really enjoying the experience immensely. And one evening, as they were about to enter another exclusive restaurant, the boss was walking slightly ahead of Arlene and her husband, and he stopped suddenly, looking down at the pavement for a long, silent moment. And Arlene could see there was nothing on the ground but one darkened penny and a few cigarette butts. And the man reached down and picked up the penny, and he held it, and he smiled, and he put it in his pocket as if he had found a treasure. And Arlene thought, why did this man need a single penny? Why did he even stop to pick it up? And throughout dinner, that question just nagged at her. And finally, she couldn't stand it. But she didn't want to ask him directly, exactly. So she casually said that their daughter had once had a coin collection, and she wondered if the penny he had found had been a valuable one. And he smiled and reached into his pocket for the penny, and he held it out for her to see. Look at it, he said. Read what it says. And she read the words, United States of America. No, not that. Read further. 1 cent. Keep reading. In God we trust? Yes. And if I trust in God, he said, the name of God is holy, even on a coin. When I find a coin, I see that inscription. It's on every single United States coin, but we never seem to notice. God drops a message right in front of me telling me to trust him. Who am I to pass it by? When I see a coin, I pray. I stop to see if my trust is in God at that moment. I pick the coin up as a response to God that I do trust. I think it's God's way of starting a conversation with me. Lucky for me, God is patient and pennies are plentiful. Arlene's story got me thinking, she said. When I was out shopping today, I found a penny on the sidewalk. I stopped to pick it up, And I realized that I'd been worrying and fretting about things I cannot change. I read the words, "In God we trust," and I had to laugh. Yes, God, I get the message. It seems I've been finding an inordinate number of pennies in the last few months, but then pennies are plentiful, and God is patient. So the next time that you find a penny on the ground, or a nickel, or a quarter, pick it up and look at it and know that it is God's direct invitation to you, regardless of what is going on in your life at that moment, to trust. That is a direct communication. It's not an accident that you're the one who saw it and picked it up. So I imagine that there are going to be a lot of coins found out there in the world this week. Namaste. Thank you. I'm going to do a quick little prayer to anchor this, and then we're going to go on. So let's turn within again just for a moment. And this is a moment of gratitude. We're so grateful to be together, to have this marvelous music, and to have this reminder of trust in the infinite which is our very nature, to trust in our intuition, in our guidance, in the power that is within us that lifts us. We're deeply grateful. We let this go and we let her rip, and so it is. Please stand and join me in the morning's affirmation. As we say together, the power of visioning is mine now. I use it to open my heart and mind to Spirit's guidance toward my highest good and greatest happiness. I am grateful, and so it is. You may be seated. Those of you that are online, if you would like to text a donation this morning, you're very welcome to do that. The number is up on the screen. Just put the dollar amount you want to give, text it to that number, and the rest will be guided, just like we are all the time. For those of us in the room, you can do that, or if whatever kind of offering you bring this morning, we're going to bless that together. Now, if you're here for the first time, your presence with us is your offering this morning. We are delighted that you're here. We do, all of us, want to bless the offering together and bless ourselves. So I invite you to put your hands over your heart. If you're giving your gift with a loved one, you can hold it in your hands together. And we say this blessing of these offerings together. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. Please go ahead. Eddie, take it away.
All right. Woo. Everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is going to change. Everything is an inside job. You may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. This feeling that you had that left you feeling sad. There's nothing you can have outside yourself to fix it. And that's the reason why sometimes we have to cry to let it all go. Be still and know everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is gonna change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. This may be hard to take, but some things we tend to hate is not a God mistake. Placed here to be corrected. Every player has a role to make this world a whole, not for us to control. Be still and know everything is an inside job. Change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is going to change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will really show. Everything is an inside job. Well, change the way you're looking at a thing. The thing you're looking at is going to change. Everything is an inside job. Well, you may have to dig deeper to find what will release you. Ooh, everything, everything. Oh, everything is an inside job. Well, I said everything, everything. Say it with me, y'all. All right. Thank you.
All right, so we do, all of us together, on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, accept this offering with enormous gratitude, and we send it out in the world to bring more love everywhere that everyone goes, and so it is. All right. Now, if you're with us for the very first time this morning, I want to direct your attention to the back table on this side where Amanda's standing. We have all sorts of information there available for you to pick up and take with you. And there are welcome packets back there for you. Take one of those, fill out the blue card inside, and Amanda's going to give you a little book as our gift to you, our thank you for being here today. It's called Nourishing Thoughts. It's a little book of affirmations you can easily carry around with you. And it will help to lift you up in the moments when you're feeling a little wobbly. It's also our invitation to you to come back and be with us often in the future. We'd love to see you. And we want to thank everyone this morning who has helped to make this morning wonderful and beautiful. We want to especially thank Eddie Watkins Jr. for being here with us today. Woo-hoo! And I want to let you know that Eddie's music and his partner, the lovely Gabriella, jewelry that she's made is available at the product table over here following the service. Be sure that you go over there and take a look at all of those wonderful things, and they can explain to you the different ways you can get the music, and you can try on the bracelets and things, and well worth a visit, let me tell you. Okay. Now, remember that we have been invited by the International Association of Sufism to go to the Songs of the Soul, which is a poetry and sacred music festival that is being hosted by Westminster Presbyterian Church on Saturday, June 8th from 10 to 5. So it's a whole day. If you want to get a ticket with lunch, and you get it before the 25th of this month, it's $90 with lunch. It's $70 without lunch. So get online and get that quick, because the website is up there and I think also available in your Sunday bulletin this morning. I'm going to be doing a workshop on Sunday, June 9th at the office on Irwin Boulevard in San Rafael from 1 to 3. It's a live workshop. So we're at the Learning Center. It's only $20. This is called Crossing a Sacred Threshold. If you are experiencing any kind of transition, change in your life, a big one or a small one, doesn't matter, you're experiencing a threshold crossing. So we're going to talk about thresholds and symbols and see if we can't allow the subconscious to bring us some new information to support us with that crossing. So I invite you to sign up at the back table this morning, and we'll have a little bit more time. We can do that before that begins. Leslie. Oh, Leslie's in the back. Do you want to say something about the class? Okay, so there's a course that Leslie and Lori Greer, two of our prayer practitioners, are going to be teaching, Journey of the Soul, which was created by Reverend Patrick Harbula, one of our ministers, including the book, the The magic of the soul. I never can think of that word. I don't know why that is. The magic of the soul. They go together. Patrick's even going to facilitate one of the classes. It's on Zoom, so everybody's welcome to sign up and participate no matter where you are. And it will be taking place 6 Tuesday evenings beginning June 18th. Also, we have sacred service at the San Francisco Marin Food Bank coming up on June 11th. It's just 2 hours, noon to 2. That's a Tuesday, and it's at the San Rafael Warehouse. Please contact Ellen Nicosia, and all her info is in your bulletin and on the screen, if you would like to be part of the team that is going to show up to do this in June. And that will be a wonderful gift of service. And lastly, I want to draw your attention to our practitioner table. There is a box there where you can put in a prayer request anytime on Sunday. It will be prayed over during this week by the practitioners on duty. And please take advantage of the fact that practitioners are here offering you a free prayer following the service. You know, when you make an individual, the prayers are always free, but when you make an individual appointment with a practitioner, you're asking for an extended period of their time and their training and their expertise. That's what we actually pay for. But on Sunday, they give it to you for free, all of it. And so please take advantage of that and allow them to enfold you in prayer this morning. All right, now please stand and, oh wait, before we do that, I do want the practitioners to surround the room. And so in this bowl of blessing and consciousness, your job is to receive the energy of prayer that is surrounding you right now in this room, the energy of consciousness and love as we turn within and all of us together speak our word. Just allow these waves to come right to you, right here and right now. And so it is. Please stand and join us for the closing and the final, oops, no, I went the wrong direction there. We've done that. Now we're going to do the closing together. Oh, one more, it's coming. Here we go. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. And here we go for the last song together.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do its thing. You look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change a thing if you knew what to do. So get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do its thing. Sun is gonna shine and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, then dig it up and see if it's growing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing. Let's do that one more time, y'all. Get out of the way. 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 Get out the way and let God. You better let God, better let God, better let God, better let God do its thing. Get on out the way. God bless you. Amen, and so it is. Thank you.